Hi, this is Petter. I am the main dev for Willow Guard, and this is our narrated experience of playing Willow Guard. 11 minutes and 20 seconds of uninterrupted time. This starts about an hour into the game. We're on day 4 already, and we have an extensive to-do list. For this session, I am going to focus on just one character called Zarar, who is currently waiting for us at the roadhouse. This map is the main way that you navigate through the game currently, and we have all of these unlocked locations. The roadhouse is one of the first locations that you unlock, and as you can see on the to-do list, this is where we're going now. Unfortunately, we were ambushed on the way there, and this is the there's a random encounter, which we unfortunately have to do because otherwise we can't get to the roadhouse. So Willow Guard has 2 modes. One is what you just saw, which is the story mode, the narrative mode, the investigation mode, and the other one is the combat mode, which is what you're seeing currently. This is in beautiful pixel art style, fast-paced ARPG combat, essentially. So this is a kind of a good example, really, of the basic how things work, because all of the monsters are, or a lot of the monsters are represented here, and they're all coming at you at once. Willow Guard has a card mechanic, which is what you see here. Essentially, you have a deck of cards that you set up before combat, and as you fight, you gather stamina, which is this blue thing here in the corner, and then when you gather enough stamina, you get to pick one of your cards, and then that levels you up a little bit. So in this case, we had various passive and active abilities running. And then we got our loot, a lot of materials and other shimmer money and so forth. Yeah, and then we just get to continue. Most of this thing is going to be this, which is the story part of the game. Currently we're observing. This is something you can do. We can look at scenes and find out more about them using focus, which is a resource that is used for this investigative gameplay. So essentially what we're doing, that was just showing sort of how it works in short. Went inside the roadhouse, and we are now going to try to find Zarar, who is here. He's not there, but he is there. And Zarar is a character from your past. He's a fellow Willow Guard, and he is behaving very strangely right now. You met him on the road earlier in the day, and he's pretending not to be a Willow Guard. So you have some choices on how you should react to him, and in this case we decided that we would pretend that we don't know he's a Willow Guard, and he liked that, so his affinity went up. How the various characters like you or dislike you is an important part of the game. In this case, well, we'll see how his affinity can affect things. Currently they're talking about what he's doing here, and it turns out that he is looking for something called a Grove Vault, which is like a vault full of treasures left behind by past Willow Guards. And as to why he's pretending not to be a Willow Guard and why he's looking for this, it's a bit unclear, and you seem very suspicious about it. And that's reflected here by these symbols. These symbols indicate your inclinations. The circle one there is neuroticism, and the star one is your instinct. And you instinctually feel that something is wrong here. But you still decide to trust him. You train together. You know about this because you've had dreams that sort of have explained the backstory of these 2 characters. So this is a typical kind of scenario in Willow Guard where you're getting a new quest or a new task of some kind. And yes, there is a lot of reading and a lot of story. That's really the main thrust and focus of this game. You don't want to sort of hide that in any way. Oh, you got a clue. This is also a central way that we organize information and organize the game. When you do things, you get clues, and those clues help you. They're stored in a journal. I almost opened it there, but I decided against it. And once you have clues, you can then use those clues. You can show them to other characters, and you can ask them questions about it. So that's what we're going to do next. We have a friend at camp called Ray, who is a scholar. So we're going to go to her first and see if she knows anything about Grove Vaults. So we're looking for it now. We don't know where it is. Here she is. And she has her own tasks, but we're not focusing on those right now. So in order for us to be able to show her the clue, we first have to finish on her quest that we left sort of halfway, which is finding some of her sketches that she left. We did that already earlier, so now we found them and we gave them to her. There's an inventory system full of quest items that you can give, and now that we've done that, we can now share clues. Here are all the clues that we've gathered over the past couple of days, various things to do that we need to search, but we ask about the Grove Vault. Now, she's not a local, she's here on research and doing her own things, so she doesn't actually have any idea where the Grove Vault might be, but she gives you a hint as to who might know, which is a local. So, but she also tells you a little bit about the Grove Vault, that they have protectors, they have traps, they have things like that. So, once we've done that, we could ask her about other clues, but we don't, so we decide that, okay, let's find someone else to talk to. The most logical one is the headman in a local village called Voikos. His name is Artkos, and he is very concerned about the monster attacks. Now, as we go to Voikos, you realize that he's actually outside, he's having a serious conversation, and he tells you that the monsters have returned to a nearby lumberyard, and he has his own quests going on. He wants to build a palisade around the town to discourage further monster attacks, and he needs lumber from the lumberyard for that, but the monsters keep coming in there and disrupting it, so he's now telling you to go and clear the lumberyard. You decide not to, or we decide not to care about that, so we instead go inside to ask him about the Grove Vault. So we can share a clue of this. Now, unfortunately, he has heard about Grove Vaults. He knows what they are and all that, so we get a little bit of backstory here as well. But unfortunately, he doesn't like you enough to. This is one part where affinity comes in. He doesn't like you enough to just tell you. He would if he liked you enough. You can go to the codex and you can see sort of, read about the various characters and what their sort of affinity and so forth are, just in case you need to remind yourself what's going on. You can also find the inventory, your deck, everything else up there. It's a very handy little thing. So, we didn't manage to get the clue out of him, but we do know other people. The blacksmith is a witch. Also, it's good to be both a blacksmith and a witch. Here we're just showing that her main task is to help you upgrade your equipment. This is an RPG. You find materials, you upgrade equipment, you get better stats, everything else. Willow Guard has no levels. You don't level up at all. The only thing you can do is you can change and upgrade your equipment and your cards. There's no other inherent leveling up. So whatever hit points and whatnot you have depends entirely on your equipment and your cards. So we talked to her, and we talked to her about Grove Vaults. In this particular case, we knew that she can sense places of power, which is another clue that we got earlier. So essentially we're combining two clues here to allow for this conversation. Since she likes us well enough, she's allowing this, and we have to pay her. In Willow Guard, the main currency, called Shimmer, is actually the remnants of the magic of the gods. So Shimmer the currency is at the same time what powers magic. So it's used for upgrading everything, making new cards, etc., etc. But it's also used as money, so you can buy things with it. And you also mainly get it during the combat thing you saw. You smash things, and it just falls out of it. So that's how you gather it. So now she has done her little spell and has found where the Grove Vault is, and our clue has now been updated. So now we know where it is, the Willow Vault. After thanking her, now it's time for us to return to Zarar and let him know that we've figured out where his vault is. Sort of as we've been playing here, I'm sure you've seen all of these other threads of stories that are going on at the same time. I just wanted to focus on this one thing, just to show how it usually goes. And then we thank you for listening and considering our game.
I know that game. The same mistake over and over again.
Hello, welcome to this live demonstration or introduction video of our mobile fitness RPG Walkscape. I'm Shampoo, CEO and solo dev of my company Not a Cult, and my promise for this game is to provide an authentic RPG/MMO experience to our players that is completely powered by taking steps in real life. We are deeply committed to never using GPS and to never use microtransactions as ways to gain progress in-game. And I'm joined today by Maxchill, or High Priest of Arts. So, Maxchill, what are we seeing here on the screen right now?
Thanks for the introduction, Shampoo. What we are seeing here is our in-game character creator. As you can see, the characters are made in pixel art style. And not gonna lie, it was a challenge to make quite advanced character maker as this one, but I think it's been worth, as now we have plenty of options to make both NPCs and players to make their characters. We have included some options that are references to popular culture and gaming in the artwork, so we hope players will enjoy discovering them. Now let's confirm our character. And Shampoo, what should we do first?
Now that we have a character, here we are in the world of Arena. We are currently in the disenchanted forest just outside Kalahai, the capital of a frozen and mysterious region in game. We have complete freedom of what to do, but today I'll start by foraging for some materials in the forest to craft into some very basic tools.
In Walkscape, you gain progress in game by taking steps in real life. You can see the main gameplay loop now, where you take a certain number of steps to complete an action, and upon its completion you gain materials, items, chests, and skill experience. We currently have 9 skills to train in the game like this, and plans to have many more. So Shampoo, now that we are gathering materials, what can we do with them?
Once players gather materials, we have a number of skills in game, including carpentry, smithing and crafting, that allows our players to transform materials into equipment and tools. With the right tools and gear equipped, we could also get lucky and make a higher quality tool. Let's make an axe and then we can equip it and then do some wood cutting with it.
And Shampoo, can you share some of the inspiration for the game?
This game is important to me for many reasons. I have ADHD and I found motivating myself to exercise sometimes very difficult, so the inspiration for the game started off as something that I was just thinking for myself, like how to motivate myself more easily to go outside and do some walking. And then I realized that, well, I've been addicted to RuneScape for a long time, so maybe combining RuneScape with walking would actually work pretty well. And that's basically how the project started. As a gamer and a fan of fitness games, I also want a better experience that doesn't involve predatory monetization for in-game progress, and a game that actually encourages walking. You might have played games like Pokemon Go before and noticed that the game really wants you to pay attention to it all the time. So that's why in Walkscape you will be able to go on your walk without worrying about whether you are gaining progress or not.
Thanks for sharing that. For me, being a father of 2 kids, I spend quite some time outside, and it's nice to have a game that's kind of distracting but not too distracting, because of course I want to spend time with kids and be engaged with them, but there are quite a lot of downtime when I have few minutes to spare, choose some actions and know that I'll be progressing in the game while, I don't know, I'm running around with the kids, playing with them. And then when I have a few minutes again, I can open the game, check my progress and do more stuff. It's like an idle game, which I can either speed up or slow down. So we have crafted the axe and used it to chop some logs. What's next?
The last feature that we want to really highlight here on this short introduction video is the traveling system. We are currently in Kallheim, and as you can see, there are actually NPC shops already in the game that we can visit and we can buy items from. But if we wanted to go somewhere else in the game's world, we can open up the world map from here, and as you can see, there are a lot of locations and it's a huge map. We have activities spread out over the entire world, and the regions of Arenum have different services, quests and NPCs to discover. Let's select walking back the Disenchanted Forest. Do you have anything else to mention today, Max Chill?
I can mention that players can expect a lot more from the game. We are showing only the bones of it right now. Eventually, it's gonna have quite many MMO features, as leaderboards, walking leagues. We'll also be adding player trading, marketplaces, combat raids, grouping, dungeon content, a lot over the next year. And we plan to release closed beta of the game, Walkscape, before the end of the year.
That's right. The game is coming out to both Android and iOS. To sign up, you can head over to Walkscape portal, which is our community site for the game, and you can register there your own Walkscape account. You can also find more about our game from our website. We are looking forward to seeing you in the game and in our community. So stay hydrated and keep walking.
Hello there! We are Rainbow Cat Studio, and we are currently developing our studio's first game, The Sapling. A hand-painted game about a young man, his grandfather, and the garden they took care of together. It is a story-driven game with simple puzzles, beautiful music, and art inspired by our country, and a heartwarming story about moving towards the future without forgetting the past. Please follow the Sapling's development through our social media, and don't forget to catch a break every once in a while.
Honey, are you recording? No. Does that move? I don't see anyone.
Hi everyone, I'm Rochelle, the designer of GoGroundshel, a story-driven puzzle game developed by a remote team. I'm excited to introduce you to this quirky, cute-looking, spooky, and funny adventure. GoGroundshel is set in a fairy tale-like world where you follow Groundshel, a groundhog girl, on her mission to rescue her partner from a villain, all while urgently searching for a usable toilet. You will guide Groundshel through various whimsical environments, from her home to the Corgi Farm, Fox Forest, Lake Town, and Coyote Cliff, encountering vibrant characters along the way. The game blends puzzle solving with platforming and narrative elements. Alongside familiar RPG mechanics like movement, combat, inventory, and journal systems, the game introduces a unique puzzle-solving feature. Every puzzle is thoughtfully integrated into the toilet finding and fixing narrative. Your primary goal is not just to solve puzzles, but to guide Groundshel to her destination and engage with her joys and sorrows through the game. The choice of a groundhog as a protagonist was inspired by the viral clip of a screaming groundhog, the YouTube channel Chunk the Groundhog, and the Groundhog Day meme associated with time loops. The focus on finding toilets stems from recurring nightmares I have had about searching for the perfect toilet, a personal Groundhog Day curse. Fixing dysfunctional toilets in the game is a metaphor for the anxiety of addressing one's true needs while resisting societal pressures. I like to call this a Super Mario game, not just because GoGroundshel is a girl rescuing a guy, but because it explores female struggles against the societal expectations. Unlike typical Mario-style games, GoGroundshel doesn't defeat enemies with violence. She feeds them fruit to tame them. Her nurturing nature shines through as she chooses care over combat. So as you progress, you will uncover more of GoGroundshel's inner conflicts and desires. And while saving the world is often the goal in games, here the urgent need to find a toilet can't be postponed. GoGroundshel's personal quest must be fulfilled immediately.
Hi, I'm CE. I'm the composer for GoGroundshel, a unique platform puzzle game where music plays an essential role in conveying the emotional arc of our hero, a brave groundhog named GoGroundshel. Today I will walk you through how I compose the music for different scenes in the game and how it enhances the gameplay experience. For GoGroundshel, I started by writing the main theme, which is designed to resonate throughout the entire game. I wanted this theme to be versatile, so it could adapt to different emotional contexts. For this particular scene, where the player is solving puzzles in a safe space, I opted for a calm and comforting approach. And a little bit funny actually. The music here features gentle piano, jazz drum, some brass and guitar and strings, creating a peaceful and interesting atmosphere that allows the player to focus on problem solving. As we move into the eerie environment of the Fox Forest, I wanted music to reflect the unease and uncertainty GoGroundshel faces. The forest is dark, full of hidden threats, and I wanted the player to feel the tension through the soundtrack. I used minimal melodies, dissonant harmonies, and a slower tempo to create an unsettling vibe. This part of the game really focuses on building suspense, and I wanted music to feel like it's leading the player deeper into the unknown. We're in the farmhouse scene where I introduce a funny spooky tune to balance the eerie atmosphere with a touch of humor. To achieve this, I use the trombone, which creates a playful yet spooky effect. It gives the scene a quirky, light-hearted scare, making the eerie moment feel a bit less threatening but still engaging for the player. For the Candid Castle scene, I took a different approach. This is a more grand, royal setting, but there is an underlying sense of danger. To achieve this, I combined orchestral elements like brass and strings to create a majestic atmosphere, but also added subtle dissonance to maintain a sense of anxiety. The music here needed a balance between royalty and suspense, reflecting the fact that the ground shell is in a danger place despite the grandeur of the surroundings. Creating a soundtrack for GoGroundshel has been an exciting challenge. Every piece of music was designed to support the emotional journey of the player, from calm, reflective moments to intense, high-stake encounters. By using different musical styles and techniques, I was able to create a cohesive sound that ties the whole game together. Thanks for joining me on this journey through GoGroundshel's music. I can't wait for you to experience it in the game.
Thank you for watching this video. Please wishlist GoGroundshel on Steam and follow us for updates. Bye bye.
you